he's loose again. Edwards off the lane. Like a back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back here at the Gridiron Uncensored. It's me and Blake, Trevor and Blake today. Brendan is on vacation with the fam, so we decided to let him have a break. As you just saw, we're jumping into North Carolina Tar Heels this week, and honestly, this one's going to be kind of interesting, frankly, for me, because there's just a whole lot of things about North Carolina that's changing, and right out the gate, they're changing obviously all the coaching stuff and everything like that. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the results of the 2024 season. And I would say that they probably were not happy with that result. They had a good win, obviously, with Minnesota, and the first three wins they started out really strong, and then they just went defense is optional with JMU. With that crazy game with a 70-50 loss to them. And then they just followed it up with three straight losses after that. And honestly, when you come out of non-com with a loss and then followed it up with three straight losses in conference, that kind of sets you up for failure already right out the gate. Because ACC is already very competitive, and you really can't afford any more than, I don't know, Blake, you'd probably say 2 losses in conference if you want to make it to the championship game.
100%.
Yeah.
It was devastating, had to be, for UNC fans, especially with such a good running back that they had last year. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, behind Ashton Jeanty. Just disappointing season, especially with somebody like Mac Brown at the head. But I think we kind of called that.
Yeah, we kind of called that. And also I think even the players probably saw the writing on the wall for Mac Brown to be gone.
Yeah.
And leaving, and it's turned out to be true, which obviously that's a hard thing to play through with your coach leaving and just dealing with all of that. So part of me wants to give UNC a pass and just we'll start fresh with the new head coach this season, obviously. And with that said, we'll start talking about it a little bit. Obviously, Bill Belichick's coming in to help them all out this year and to do things. I honestly don't know what to expect from good old Bill, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't either.
Because as long as I've been alive, he's been a professional coach.
Yep.
So or as long as I've known of him, I should say, he's been a professional coach.
Well, if his NFL model transfers to the collegiate level, I think they, especially with some of the staff he's got in, they can expect a lot of running, a lot of play action, and some strong defense, which is exactly what North Carolina needs and what they're kind of built to do.
Yeah, absolutely. They got Freddie Kitchens, who was the interim head coach last season, as we all know. He's staying on as the OC and tight ends coach. And then obviously Bill has brought over Steve Belichick, who some of you might know. He was the D coordinator at the Pats last season. They did really well, actually. Their stats for defense was really well. They were top 10. They were sixth best overall defense in the NFL last year, which is phenomenal. And he's bringing that experience over to not only defense coordinator, but he's also going to be coaching the linebackers. So, Blake, you have anything to add about the coaches at this point?
Coaching stuff-wise, not really too much to add. I do think Freddie Kitchens, retaining him on the staff is good for the program. And what he does, I think, kind of meshes with how Belichick runs his teams and how he has, historically. One coach I do think is a benefit is TC Taylor coming in as the quarterback coach. And this can just carry over to the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. They've got a quarterback coming in Gio Lopez out of South Alabama. And I think he is just an absolute hot shot for this team. I think I would be super excited to have him. He's coming in with 3,000 yards of total offense, and I think he was the top five for percentage completion percentage. So I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. That's what North Carolina needs, and I just think it's a great pickup there.
Yep. I 100% agree. And it's definitely a great transition to talk about the transfer portal and everything of that nature. So just the quick numbers on North Carolina's transfer portal. They had the 29th overall recruiting class, 9th overall transfer portal class. So they have a 36 composite overall class between the two. And honestly, looking at them, Blake, I like a lot of their pickup on the recruiting side of things. I have a couple notables for the transfer portal that I think I really like. Not where, how would you say it? Not never knockdown dragouts or something that'll blow your shirt up. But I mean, like, I love Benjamin Hall, the running back pickup from Michigan.
Yeah.
Benjamin Hall, he's a very, very good running back. He's a nice sized running back at 5'11", 235, 230, somewhere in that range. I love Makai. I practiced this name and I messed up already. Makai Bayer. I'm just going to call it Gabayer.
There you go.
There, linebacker from Mizzou. I like him. Smith Vilbert out of Penn State and Price Yates out of UConn at the D lineman position. I like all of those positions, and I really love the fact that they kind of focused in on just about every position you could possibly think of.
Well, I'll just throw a couple more in there that I think were great pickups. They're not going to be names that were flaunted all over ESPN, but I think they got good size to them. Andrew Simpson out of Boise State, and a defensive back out of Florida, 6'3", 211 pounds, and Gregory Smith. He was a 4-star, rated as a 4-star transfer. Right. And then you can never go wrong with a 6'5" tight end out of Arkansas in Shamar Easter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can never go wrong. And just to put some perspective on this, these guys also adding in to almost 51% of returning production, overall 56% on the offensive side and 46% on the defensive side. Now, the defensive side is definitely going to need plug some holes because that returning production is 94th in the country as far as returning production. That's not a good stat.
Well, so the players that I just named, Andrew Simpson and Gregory Smith, I think they fit really well into what the Pats have done. Yeah, I think these are scheme guys. They'll be able to come in and make an impact immediately.
Yep.
I think they're good fits for what they're doing in North Carolina.
I 100% agree with that. I definitely like a lot of these. It's a few, but I mean they've got a set of guys out of Washington that are all coming over. Two DBs, one safety, one cornerback, and then Jason Robinson Jr. out of smaller wide receiver, which I'm assuming he's fast. I was reading about him a little bit. He does run fairly fast, but I mean, they got a lot of Deontay Robinson from Florida. He's going to be a beast as well. I love their transfer portal class, and I mean, they did very well this season. I think the excitement of Bill Belichick coming in has helped them a lot in the transfer portal as well.
Oh, I agree 100%. Some of our friends on Twitter, I was reading, it was a TNT college football podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They had done a really good write-up on some of the positions that are coming in to North Carolina. And I believe they had said they have a lot of talent. It's just unproven.
They do.
But if you just look at some of the guys and how they've played at the teams they're leaving, they've got some guys in North Carolina. It's just it has to mesh. That's the thing.
Yeah, that is really really the bare bones of it, honestly. And I'll tell you, returning starters or projected returning starters, I feel like they've got a good base as far as the right type of returning production as far as on the offensive side of the ball. Blake, do you have some impact players that are
I
coming
do, actually.
back this year?
I do. So I think at running back, they've got two running backs that are very capable in Davian Goss and Caleb Hood. A lot of the fans say that they've got a very dynamic backfield, and they do. Both of those running backs are very capable. I think Caleb is a little bit better, but I believe they'll split the carries. And then the wide receiver room, I mean, they added some dogs in the wide receiver room. Offensive line, same thing. They got some good additions out of Jordan Hall at UAB. He is an absolute monster of a human being, 6'8". Defensively, they got a lot of talent coming in. And again, like you mentioned, Price Yates coming in out of UConn. That's the thing about one thing I do like about the transfer portal, and I know I have talked a lot of crap about it.
We all have.
Yeah, I do feel a certain way about it, but it does let players like Price Yates out of UConn get to come in and make an impact at a top tier program. I do enjoy that aspect of it. I'm not going to make this about the transfer portal, but so I'll stick to topic here.
I mean, I will say this, and it's a broken record, but North Carolina, you are not exempt from me saying it, is that a team that solely relies on the transfer portal to turn a program around. We've already seen it fail multiple different times. I mean, Colorado, they did terrible that 1 year where they basically retooled their entire roster with the transfer portal, that's not what UNC is doing this season. Right. But it's still the point where you have a 9th ranked transfer portal class, but then you have a outside the top 25 in recruiting class. But I digress on that.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think with their portal this year, obviously it's just because, new coach, new staff.
Right. And also a different scheme. So he's bringing in guys that fit the way that they want to play football, which is fine.
Right.
That's understandable.
I will say in the ACC, this is one of the teams I'm looking most forward to seeing how it pans out, just because I am a fan of Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. And I do want him to succeed there. And everybody likes North Carolina's unis. So you want that light blue to do good.
Yeah, you want that powder blue or whatever you want to call it.
But getting back to the impact players, if I had to narrow it down to just two on the offensive side, I've got to go with the incoming quarterback transfer in Gio Lopez if he gets the start. I don't see how he doesn't. I think he was too big of an impact at South Alabama, and I think he's got way more weapons than he's going to get anywhere else. So on the offensive side, I don't think there's another player you can pick. And my second impact player, I'm actually going to stay on the offensive side, and I'm going to go with, now this is an odd selection here, but offensive line, I'm going with Aiden Banfield. I've seen a lot of talk in the offseason about him. They think he's really going to step up, and that's going to be vital to the success at North Carolina under this offensive system that Belichick's bringing in. So that's the two I've got listed. On the defensive side of the ball, I would look to see like Dontre Robinson or Price Yates, somebody like that coming in to make an impact immediately. With any coaching change like this, massive overhaul of staff and players leaving, coming in, it's a bunch of new faces, a bunch of new people. You need players to come in and make an immediate impact. And these are some of the guys I just think they're going to be capable. And under Belichick, I don't see a way that they're not. I just think he's going to correlate to the college level. I know not every NFL coach does, but I think he's just a guy that will.
Yep. I like that. I like the impact on Gio Lopez, but I would be remiss if I did not say that I'd give a puncher's chance to Bryce Baker.
Yeah.
I would give a puncher's chance to Bryce Baker started as a freshman, only because, I mean, if he shows out, he's a top 200 player in the country. 12th best quarterback in the country. There is a possibility that Bryce Baker shows out and impresses Belichick enough where he starts, but I would imagine that like you said, the Geo will probably be the day
Yeah.
one starter, and then if he starts struggling, I would not be surprised to see Bryce Baker pop in there.
Well, a lot of people I've seen argue about Max Johnson,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I just don't.
I don't see that, honestly. I just
don't see a senior coming in and with his stats outperforming a sophomore in Lopez with his stats. And I get that they're against two different tiers of defense. I'm not naive to that.
Right.
But even at that level, I mean, it's 66%. I mean, that's pretty solid. And I mean, he does not turn the ball over. 5 interceptions on the season. That's a tough ask for any quarterback. So,
but that being said, I mean, regardless who the starting quarterback is, I'm going to put a lot of faith and trust in the fact that Bill Belichick knows what the hell he's doing when he's picking players to start. And if Max Johnson picks up the offensive playbook better than the other quarterbacks, then he's probably going to be the one to be the game manager quarterback that they need to get them off and running for the 2025 season. And I guess with that being said, let's just roll into what the 2025 season kind of looks like.
Let's do it.
So here's 2025. This is what it kind of looks like. They start their season off on September 1st with against I think it's going to be a very improved TCU Horned Frogs team, honestly. So it's going to be a very big test, a night game in Chapel Hill, which will be a benefit to them. And Blake, I'm just going to put this out there so everyone knows their over-under right now is at 7.5. So, I mean, I feel like, it's a possibility, but there's a lot of unknowns with the UNC team right now.
Oh, yeah. And not just with the UNC team, but a lot of the ACC.
Right.
There's a couple of teams. That's a tough one there.
I'm telling you what, man, I'm looking at this schedule. I was like, I mean, that's great that you get a day off before and after Clemson. You're probably going to need it. Yeah. But after that, it does not get much easier because I think we're all on the same page with Cal hopefully being a little bit more improved, but it'll be out in Berkeley when they have to go play them.
Yeah.
And then they're turning right back around to play UVA, which maybe be improved. They should be a little bit better. Syracuse, we'll see. That's probably 2 wins right there, hopefully.
Honestly, the back end of their schedule
until you get to Wake, I feel like then it gets a little bit tougher.
Duke and NC State could be tough.
Wake can always be a troublemaker sometimes, for sure. But
I only see, like, if I held a gun to my head and said pick all of their wins, I could only, with confidence, maybe say 4 that I would give 100% on. That would be Charlotte, Richmond. I would say Virginia and Stanford.
I would agree with that. I would probably, only because they did me so dirty last year, I'd probably add Cal in there too.
Yeah, I mean, they did. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong on that. But
I mean, I was so high on them preseason. Man, I was I thought I had them pegged that they were going to do good.
If I had to say, you said 7 wins?
Yeah, 7.5. So they'd have to hit 8 wins to hit the over.
I don't think they get there. I'm going to say under on that. That's a big ask.
With how uncertain most of these conferences are right now. I mean, I feel like the ones that you kind of have the most confidence in right now are SEC and Big Ten right now, only because they have so many experienced quarterbacks coming back.
Yeah,
but that being said, Big 12 has a lot of experience coming back as well.
Yeah, and I don't say that to be negative toward North Carolina because I do think ultimately I think they're going to be a program to be reckoned with. But just first season, I mean, hey, if all these dudes come in and they mesh well and gel together, and they could go out there and win 8-9 games. I mean, if they best case scenario they come in, let's just do it how Brendan does it: ceiling and floor.
Okay, ceiling and floor. Let's do Brendan's way.
Yeah, I could see them if everything goes perfect. All these transfers come in and they just mesh and gel, and they're phenomenal. I say they lose to Clemson. I say they lose to, I'm going to say NC State, and then I say they have a one-off and lose one to either Duke or UCF, and they get 9 wins. And then floor, I'm going to say they win. They go 6-6.
Yeah. All right. So my ceiling is going to be 8 wins. I can see an argument to be made for 9 though.
It's so hard with the transfer portal.
There's an argument to be made for 9. It really is. It's transfer portal does make it a little bit more tough to call this, because in my mind, I think they will lose to TCU in week 1. Yeah. Only because we already covered them a little bit, and I really like their makeup of their roster overall, including the transfers that they brought in. I really like everything that they're doing. Now, it's almost a certainty that Clemson is going to be the number one team in the ACC to beat, hands down. Yeah. Because they have, I mean, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but they have a lot of returning people.
Oh, Clemson's loaded.
They have everyone basically.
They're a national threat.
Yeah, they're a national threat for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna 5 wins is my low, and I think I can go 8 wins. I just feel like 9 is too much for this, the way this schedule is.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's just not going to be there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with my gut on the under. But I'm gonna give them a 9-win ceiling and a 5-win floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take the under as well on UNC, but I am optimistic as what the UNC program could be under Bill Belichick. Give him a full recruiting cycle and everything like that. I think that they can draw in a lot of talent just for the pro side of things, on like people that really want to get to the pros. Why don't you just go learn underneath the best? And the one that has done it for umpteen amount of years.
Yep.
Blake, I think that pretty much wraps us up for UNC. You got anything else about them that you want to touch on?
I will just throw out one last thing. I put my impact players earlier out of the transfer portal. I've got 2 players here that are returning players. I've got Bryson Nesbitt. He's a tight end on the offensive side, and then I've got Keyshawn Silver on the D line. I think those are 2 more players to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the lines are where it's going to make or break UNC this season, sure. I think. I mean, they've got enough talent at the quarterback position. They have enough talent at the running back position. We know what kind of dogs they have at the wide receiver position. It is simply put front 7, which looks to be strong as long as everyone gels together. And the offensive line, which looks to be going to be kind of a makeshift group of people that haven't played together before from the looks of it. But we'll have to kind of wait and see on how that kind of shapes out and who are named the first week starters. We'll kind of dive into that week 1 with the primetime game with them and TCU on September 1st.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for Gridiron Uncensored tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your fellow fans of UNC football, and don't forget to comment on our YouTube page. We like to hear from you on maybe things that we've missed or didn't talk about as much. Please throw it in there so we get all the information that we can gathered up, where you guys are kind of boots on the ground for us as far as the ins and outs of the UNC program.
Yep, we appreciate it.
All right, we take care, everybody. Good night.
See you.